Hello. I really don't know what to say. I need some kind of intro catchphrase or something for these videos. But then again, I don't want to get stuck with that either. So, whatever. Today I don't have anything new to show you, anything in Minecraft, and yeah, there hasn't really been any news to report. I have not gained any new subscribers since last we spoke, but I've noticed that a lot of my videos seems to be getting more likes than usual. So that's amazing. People seem to have liked my new Fall on Earth series, Second Fall. It's gotten, I think it was 3 likes. It'll probably get more. My New Year's special got like 7 likes in only a matter of days. I don't know, it doesn't seem like much or sound like much, but I'm not really used to getting that many likes. At least not over a short period of time. So amazing! It's thank you. Since there really isn't much to talk about today, I am going to introduce today's other video later on, but other than that, there really isn't much to talk about. So I thought I'd do something that I've actually done before, a lot of times, but I thought since I seem to have gained a lot of subscribers lately, and that means there's a lot of newcomers, so maybe they haven't heard this. I'm going to talk about some of my favorite games. I'm only going to scratch the surface, only going to speak briefly about each game because to be honest, there's a lot of game. I like a lot of different games. I'm not like a guy who is like only likes certain games. I know there's people who only like first-person shooters, who only like sport games, who only like RPGs and stuff like that. And hey, that's your choice. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe that just means that you have the ability to focus, which I don't. So I'm kind of all over the place, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna talk briefly about some of my favorite games, and I might go into details with some of the games later on in another video. Let's just get started. Now these are not in any kind of order except the first one. The rest of them is basically just games I really, really like. The first one is my favorite, and that favorite is Duke Nukem 3D. I love that game. Like I said, I'm not gonna go really that much into detail, but I'm gonna say I bought the game in 1996, and I've basically been playing it ever since. A lot through the rest of the 90s. There was a lot of games that I just kind of overlooked. The Quake games, Half-Life, um, Unreal, and Diablo, StarCraft, Warcraft. I kind of just skipped by them because hey, I had Duke Nukem 3D. And what is I like about it? Well, it's a fun game. It's a first-person shooter, and it has really great graphics for its time. It has a lot of great humor, a lot of new, strange things that you don't really see in that many games. It has variety. It isn't just another corridor shooter. I mean, I love games like Quake 2 and Half-Life, but a lot of the environment in those games pretty much looks the same. And that's where Duke really separates from the herd, especially back then. It had a lot of variety in textures and models. Well, not really models. There weren't really much of that, but it was just amazing. And the cool thing about it is that there was a lot because the game really wasn't that complicated and simple made. The build engine isn't hard to figure out, so that meant that there was a lot of user levels, a lot of mods and total conversions and user episodes. Still to this very day, it's been slow these last couple of years, but every now and again something big made for Duke Nukem appears, even so many years after. We are almost closing in on 20 years. The game has been out for 19 years, and it's still just an amazing game. But enough about that. Like I said, I'll probably go into more details later on. Next game I'm going to mention is Civilization 4. I mean, basically the entire Civilization series, except for 3. And the reason I say that is because not because I hate it, it's because I haven't played it. I played all the others, 1, 2, 4, and 5, but 4 is my favorite. It was actually, I was kind of leaning towards 2 as well, but I mean, there's some things that they removed from 2 that wasn't in 4, but they added new things to 4 that wasn't in 2. But 4 wins because of its modability. It's modder friendly, let's just say that. It's really modder friendly, and there's been made a lot of really cool mods for Civilization 4, and that is why it wins. I haven't played much of Civilization 5, but the things I've played, I still liked 4 better than 5. 5 is great as well, but Civilization 4 is amazing. I mean, you can build a world and control it, and it's just, I mean, how fun is that? It's very fun. Next game is Harvest Moon. I really love Harvest Moon. It's an amazing game. I like the JRPG style in general, especially actually the older ones, the ones on the Super Nintendo and on early PlayStation and the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis. And what the things that and what set Harvest Moon, aside from the others, was that it wasn't about the fighting and the going on an epic journey. You were a fucking farmer and trying to live your normal life while harvesting your crops. Speaking of harvesting your crops, and you know, taking care of your animals. And there were some RPG elements in it as well, not just. And there were some dating elements in it. You have to get married, and it was. It felt like, in a lot of ways, a life simulator. All you needed was like more freedom instead of. It was kind of linear, but and a lot of the same. But if it had become, more freedom and maybe like something like you needed to eat as well and other things, it would have become the most epic game ever. But now it's only close to being the most epic game ever. Harvest Moon for the Super Nintendo. If you haven't played it, you should go ahead and do it. I haven't actually played much of the others. I played a little bit of the Nintendo 64 version, and I think Back to Nature. Yeah, I think Harvest Moon Back to Nature. It's a series that's still being made, but unfortunately, I was lucky to be able to play the original on an emulator, but it hasn't come out for PC, which is unfortunate. We don't really get a lot of the JRPGs, which I think is very much a shame. Um, so, yeah, Harvest Moon, amazing. Next, we have Fallout 3. I have not played any of the original Fallout games, Fallout 1, 2, or Tactics, so I can't compare those. But and I know a lot of people say, well, Fallout, if you're a real Fallout fan, you're a fan of the first one. But I'm not, I guess I'm not a real Fallout fan. I'm a Fallout 3 fan. Because that is an amazing game. I mean, each time you play, you discover something new. You choose something differently. Your stats, your choices in the game. Maybe you see a quest you didn't. You see a reference to something you didn't notice before. It's an open world done right. There is, they, and the thing about Fallout 3 that most other open world games really doesn't. Wait, where was I going with that? One of the things that Fallout 3 does that most other open world games doesn't is that it balances the main storyline with a lot of the side quests and open world freedom in a way that, in my opinion, makes it feel like you really. I don't know. It feels right. I can't describe it any better, any other way. Skyrim and uh, even Fallout New Vegas kind of feels like the story easily gets all mumbled and you don't really know what to do. There is no in Fallout New Vegas, the story just becomes really confusing and pointless very quickly. In Skyrim, you everything seems rushed. If you take any of the side mission before doing the main quest, it feels like you're breaking immersion. And I just haven't seen a game that does open world gaming as well as Fallout 3 does. It has a great story as well. The graphics was great for its time, and once again, a very modder friendly game. I have modded that game so much, and it's I mean, it's amazing. Fallout New Vegas, also a great game. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Fallout New Vegas, but Fallout 3 is the better of the two. Still, Fallout New Vegas is still better than most other games, but Fallout 3, oh my god. Then, of course, we have this game, Minecraft. Minecraft is, I mean, talk about open world again, but in another way. This is open world where you can. There's almost unlimited possibilities in Minecraft. You can choose to just build, you can choose to live, you can choose to fight, you can choose to go on adventures, you can make your own adventures. You can. There's once again a lot of really cool mods, a lot of mini games. You can play with friends, you can play alone, you can go on people's servers. It's just, and I mean, it's an amazing game. Let's just hope that Microsoft doesn't fuck it up. Wouldn't be the first time they fucked something up. I mean, wasn't it Microsoft who kind of was it Rare? They fucked up. I think it was Rare. Yeah, was it Rare? I can't remember. But they fucked some company up by telling them that they could only make games for Microsoft. And the yeah, whatever. But I'm not gonna talk about much about Minecraft because it, 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 I'm gonna be showing you Minecraft each and every day. That just shows you, and I'll probably talk about what I like and not like about the game as we go along. I already did talk about some things that I would still like to see differently, but I always also talked about some of the things I really love. So, and I will continue doing that. Let's continue. I think I'll do like 3 or 4 more games, and then I'll do another video where I'll mention some other games of my favorite games, and then, like I said, I'll do some videos where I go into more details. But yeah, next up we have Far Cry 2. Far Cry 2 was amazing. I loved that game. Um, I mean, Far Cry 1 was fun as well, but Far Cry 2 opened up a whole new kind of gaming, at least to me. It might not even be original, but just the fact that it felt so realistic. I mean, just look at the story. You are I think you're a mercenary, or hired to take down a man that's arming both sides in a civil war, and at the same time you have malaria. The game felt real. It felt like it was a mature game made for people that actually wanted something more than just, hey, shoot these people. You had refugees, you had choices to make, you had a lot of. I think there was also some drug deals and stuff like that. You needed to, there was the resistance. There were choose which side you're on, and I mean that the game felt so real. The weapon could jam, and you had to pick bullets out of your legs and stuff like that. And I think I loved that game. And then they made Far Cry 3, which kind of just felt like a 80s action movie, and a bad one of that kind. Don't get me wrong, Far Cry 3 was an entertaining game, but that's where it stops. It wasn't anything else than entertaining. It was like watching, like I said, yeah, an 80s action movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme or Dolph Lundgren. Not watching it together with them. That would be cool, actually. But no, starring them, of course. But there wasn't anything else. But Far Cry 2 had those things. There were some things that needed changing, but you can check out that in my. I think I did a review of Far Cry 2. You can check out my playthrough of Far Cry 2. Next up, we have Fear. Fear was, in my opinion, one of those games that actually managed to mix action and horror together perfectly. And it wasn't like that whole jump scare horror. There were a few scenes of that, but it was more, you know, it, psychological. Every time I saw that little girl Alma, it was freaky the way she suddenly appeared in the elevator and then disappeared. I mean, that was taken out of some Japanese horror movie like The Ring or Dark Water or something like that. And at the same time, you had some really epic action with some really cool features like the bullet time effect and really awesome weapon. You could pin people's heads on walls and stuff like that. And that game, the balance between the horror and the action, and then in general the storytelling was amazing. Far Cry 2, also amazing, but Far Cry 1 stole the show. Far Cry 2 became more of an action, but it added the whole post-apocalyptic feel to it as well, which also I love really very much. Last game I'm going to do for now is Phantasmagoria. I'm gonna, as you can see, a lot of the games I'm talking about I played on this channel, and that's not a coincidence. That's on purpose, which is why it wasn't coincidence. But yeah, Phantasmagoria was also a game in my like Far Cry 2, a game made for more mature audience. It dealt with a lot of thing like fear and anger. There's a a rape scene in the game. Not that I say that that's a good thing, but just the fact that they dared put stuff like that in the game. It seemed like it I don't know. The game just felt more like an adult game, and I haven't really seen much of that since, because I don't know. Ever since I don't, I don't know when, but game developers still haven't accepted that a lot of adults play video games. The majority of games are still made mostly for kids. And if anybody who's about to say, oh, but what about games like Modern Warfare and Battlefield? Come on, it's still just that whole dream of you had as a kid. Oh, I want to be a soldier, and instead of playing like soldiers and like with your action figures out in the woods with a stick, now you can do it on your computer. I'm not saying that they're not great games. I don't know. I haven't played them. But what I'm saying is, it's not made necessarily for a more adult, mature audience. And I actually hate that term. Adult and mature, because it's I don't really know what else term to use. You know what I mean. But anyway, back to the game. Phantasmagoria again really brought horror in the classic sense of horror rather than the jump scares, and it had some really amazing scenes and amazing sequences in that game, along with some really amazing puzzle solving. And it, I must admit, it probably hasn't aged well. Actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. It's still an amazing game, and you can check out my playthrough of it if you want to. But yeah, Phantasmagoria again, what such an amazing game. Anyway, I have to. I think that's it for now. But let's. But to later on today, you will get my bonus video, and without spoiling what it is, I'll say that it's a game which I really suck at. I don't really play the game that much, at least not the way it's supposed to be played, and when I do play as it's supposed to be played, I die a lot. So be prepared for that. If you can't, if you don't like people sucking at games or not really playing the game as they should, then don't watch the video, because I don't want a lot of people just complaining about me sucking on my videos, because I see no point in that. And I just walked around this. Oh, yeah, here you go. That's for you. Did you pick it up? You picked it up! When did they add that feature? Huh. Anyway, um, check out my bonus video in coming out later tonight / today, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for more Minecraft, and yeah, bye.